Hey guys, this is Brent with Revenge Performance. Today we're going to be working on a Stealth we picked up. It's going to be my daughter's car actually. Picked it up in Arkansas. We don't really know exactly what's wrong with it. We think it may be a fuel related issue. Looks like they pulled the fuel pump out at some point in time and have a fuel line that's cut. But first thing we're going to do is get into it, make sure it turns over, make sure it's still in time before we go getting too far with anything. Just kind of have an idea because we don't want to throw a fuel pump in and just wreck something right away. So that's where we're going to be starting, and we'll just see what it is. It's just a guessing game at this point.
Yeah, I'm kind of losing my voice, so I can't talk a whole lot. But Christmas cold, you know. The DOHC engines in these cars, both turbo and non-turbo, are interference. So if the timing is skipped or the belt is just broken or it's lost all of its tension, we could do a lot of damage just starting this engine. So I really recommend never trying to start a DOHC 3000 GT or Dodge Stealth that you don't know anything about. And so we're just going to take the timing covers off. There's just a couple of 10s here you take off. If we even get the front one off, we could usually tell quite a bit. But to be sure, you have to get all four off. And then down in that darkness, there's a crankshaft pulley. And you'll be able to check the TDC mark on the plastic cover against the crankshaft pulley and make sure all four of these line up with their marks. There's triangle marks on the front, and then there are like more of a square mark on each gear that you can look, kind of more straight down with. It's a little bit easier. If you get your crankshaft pulley lined up, don't be worried if initially this is not lined up here, because your camshafts, like on any four-stroke setup, they turn, I guess besides a rotary, since it's technically still four-stroke, kind of a two-stroke. But you might have to go another turn on the crankshaft, and so that's the situation because your cams go half speed of the crankshaft. So, but if you cannot find any place where the four of these line up with that, then it's out of time and you need to investigate further. Okay, so one moment of truth at least is if we pull this off and the belt doesn't exist or it's disintegrated or clearly loose, then it's going to be something. Kind of wiggle these out, just like that. Yeah, kind of slip the back up. We might have to take that connector off the VIX motor. Right there where that wire is.
Yeah.
Well, let's not hold the audience in suspense. Let's look at this.
Yeah.
Somebody's put a belt on this because very typically they'll put marks on them, which I don't know what that red mark's supposed to be, but this is the timing mark, so that's not a good start. But relative to each other, I think these are about right. So we just got to rotate the motor a little bit. It's super loose. This is kind of typical if the car stood a long time. Yeah, you can see this is almost ready to slip, so don't fool with that too much. But if we put a little pressure against the crankshaft bolt down there, we may see that tighten up. Let's see. So there's a rubber plug down there in our plastic spot that for engine rotating purposes only, you could just stick a 1/2-inch square drive in there. I wouldn't try to loosen the bolt that way. They can split. I think it's a 22mm hex if you want to actually loosen it. But we're going to try to rotate the engine clockwise a little bit and see if the belt gets taut. And then we're going to, if it rolls over easily, we'll know a bunch of things. We'll know if the engine's locked up, and we'll know if it's in time. So, and we'll know if this tensioner is going to kick back in here. Okay, that's good, not locked up. Let me check the belt here. Yeah, the belt's getting a little tighter, so that's why we do washer mod on the timing tensioners as an option when you buy them from us, because that just relaxes from age. But see, once we're starting to rotate again, this is starting to tighten back up. That probably will, but with that washer mod, it can't collapse as far as the stock setup can, and it can't get that loose unless something else fails. So he's going to rotate that engine, and I'm watching these dots. He's kind of watching. He might not be able to see it, but he's hopefully watching the crankshaft mark too. Do you need another extension? You can just come out farther.
Yeah, maybe.
So we got Brent a little more extension. What we're doing down at this crankshaft pulley there's a mark on there that's going to line up with that dial on the plastic cover. So keep rotating. I can see it. This car also has the wrong belt on it because it skipped a rib. Hey, keep her coming. Still turning smoothly, right?
Yep.
Good. We should hear some compression, I'm hoping, at some point. There's a little bit. There, he's fighting some. Okay, still going. Oh, there he hit some compression. The NA engines are 10-to-1, so they take a little bit more effort to roll over than the turbo ones. And he doesn't have a very good angle because we haven't taken the tire off yet. Okay, hold up. Oh, that belt just ripped. That's why it's like that. Okay. Yeah, it's out of time. I don't even see a mark on the crank yet. But if we look here, back it up a little bit, Brent. And you're not supposed to go counterclockwise too far, but let's go a couple of clicks. Keep going. Now let's go back forward to get a measurement here. Just a little bit. Whoop, a little more. Well, maybe it's not out of time. Okay, stop.
Sorry.
So we can see, looking at these red marks too. I get you some light here. So the red mark there, it might be a tooth off. It didn't look like it from the front. Yeah, okay. You went a tooth too far still, Brent.
Oh shit, back up a little
I must have sent you too far. So back up. Keep her coming. Alright, stop. Okay, so actually our white dots are lined up on here. You can see, if you follow that tooth back to the arrow on the valve cover, it's lined up. Same thing here. This red mark they put on that mark lines up with the mark in the valve cover, and so does that one. So let's check the back too. I don't know what's up with the crank pulley. If something's physically missing off of it or what. Yep, so that one's in time too. And yeah, and if you see them like these or a quarter of a tooth or something off, you can't really help that. That's good. Probably once it runs, it gets a little more tension on it, it'll be better. Yeah, see, now it's tight again. See, that's just what these hydraulic tensioners do when they sit. That's why we do that washer mod, to prevent it to collapse that much. Let's look at the crank pulley. I don't see any marks on the crank pulley. Maybe you can see that with me. Is there a mark on the face of that pulley, Brent? Like there should be a little cut here somewhere. It's supposed to point to this T on the plastic cover. Yeah. Huh?
I don't know if I'm looking at the right thing.
We might have to roll it another revolution, kind of like I was saying earlier. Want to try another revolution?
Yeah.
Or would that be 2 more revolutions? I have to think about that. I'm on a lot of cold medicine right now. Well, 2 more revolutions to put it right back where it is. I'm confused. Let me poke my head underneath there, Brent.
Yep. Yeah, like that.
Okay, we looked around a little more, and it looks like this timing cover is just tweaked a little bit. And I don't know if you can see down there. Can you hold that, Brent?
Yep.
But it was kind of covering up the mark. So take my word for it that there's a white spot on that pulley down there that does line up with TGC when the cams are. So we're good on timing. So that's great. Not locked up, and it's in time. Very good start. So we probably should have checked this first, but it is in time now. It does rotate. We're checking the oil next before we start rotating it under any kind of starter or motor or anything. It's pretty much completely dry. So we're going to put some oil in there. Based on what this stuff looks like with the oil cap and stuff, it probably just leaked out. So I'll find some 1040, 15W500, whatever we got laying around will be fine for trying to roll this motor over some more. This motor oil from Valvoline VR1 is what I run in my car that makes upwards of 600 horsepower, and it's completely unnecessary and a little bit too thick for this NA engine. But it's going to be a lot better than no oil, and it's going to work just fine. And I do run 2050 all year round. I know lots of people that do, so don't get so hung up on that. But you can run whatever you want. So we're going to see if Brent can do a sky pour or if he's got to get help from a funnel. What do you think, man? You got any bets on this?
I don't have a lot of faith in my own ability to not.
Okay. You know how to try, though, right?
Yeah.
Do you know which way to pour the bottle?
Yeah, we're going to give it the old college try here.
Okay. Okay. Well, I don't think we got to worry a whole lot about getting the front of the motor wet, but watch the belt, okay?
Yeah.
Don't get your timing belts wet. No, he's doing it wrong. There he almost made a big mistake, but he caught himself. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's unusually warm for December here in the Midwest, but she's still a little bit thick. I don't know. What do you think it is, Brent? 55? 60 degrees in here right now?
Yeah, probably something like that.
Look at that sky. He's not even going to check it because he's like, this thing needs 5 quarts, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's fogging. Maybe we should check a little bit.
Maybe we should.
Because it might just be like 2 quarts down.
It wasn't on the stick, but that's only 2 quarts will do that pretty much.
Yeah. Let's give it a roll.
Let's see what we got.
Check her out here.
Just getting on there, or is that nothing?
Yeah, I think it's just getting on there. There was nothing on there.
There was nothing in here. Another good reason to check your oil before you try starting these old things. Starting it with that timing belt that loose without cranking over by hand probably would skip time. B, it was completely out of oil. So, I mean, precaution is good. This may be a $1,000 car, but it still costs $3 or $4 grand to rebuild the motors in them.
Let's go ahead and check her again.
If you did most of the work yourself. What do we got? Oh, she's full.
She's full.
It'll probably go down a little bit when it fills that filter up again. Might drain some out. Let's start with that.
Yeah.
I've been enough oil to crank on this as a starter, which is kind of what I want to do next. That'll tell us if the starter works. That'll tell us a little bit about how the motor sounds, if it cranks evenly, etc. And it's just another step anyway, because we can't start this car without it, especially since this is an automatic. So test this battery for a second, Brent, and show me what we seen here a second ago.
Alrighty, let's just pop this guy.
I got the, $300 fluke, the $14 battery. That's negative. Look, you can see it. Positive, sure. Yeah, so either my meter's having a pretty bad day or this battery's so dead it started to go the other direction. Huh. Well, let's see how she responds to charging. I don't know what's up with Mr. Fluke, because this battery's pretty poor charge here, but it does have some. So we're going to let that charge. If you ever get a semi-smart charger like this, sometimes they won't charge if they're too dead. You can actually take a 12-volt drill battery, allegedly, in parallel with it. And if you can't figure out how to do that, then it's probably not the best you try. And you can trick the charger into working on it a little bit. But this one's got just enough juice, it's going to charge. Usually if they're over 10 volts, they'll charge. So we're going to let this boil for a little bit and come back and see if this motor cranks over. And we'll at least hopefully hear this motor spin today. So while we wait on that battery to boil, we are checking out the rest of the car, and it's always good to start in the trunk, see what they're planning on next. Looks like ball joints. This is probably the Hyundai Sonata fitment ball joint for the front, although that looks really weird. I don't know what that is. Maybe that's just something for packaging. Yeah, that's all that is. So we're going to check out back here and start getting into the fuel system while we're waiting on this to charge. Okay, this is why we thought this might have a fuel pump issue. It's not sucked up. Okay. So the line after this was cut, so we're going to have to grab one of those. But this is pinched a little bit too. On a turbo car, that'd probably really bother me, but on this non-turbo car, I'm not real worried about it, honestly. So we'll obviously make sure it's not leaking, but I don't think that's pinched off enough. But I'm going to go ahead and just replace the fuel pump in here, because if he did that, that was probably next. So let's get this hat out of here. Here's a little trick we do sometimes. Grab a 12 volt, which is actually a little more than 12 volt, but grab a 12 volt battery here. If you look close enough, you can see there's actually a polarity mark. Yeah, I honestly can't read it, but worst case, this will run backwards, which is no big deal. So take an automotive fuse, which makes a convenient way to attach to your battery, and also, fuses it. So if you short something out, it'll help you out with that. So we're going to see if this pump does anything before we go replacing it. So we're going to go ahead and find a convenient ground spot. We shouldn't tear a gasket up underneath there. Oh, I don't think there is one here. Did it stay on the car?
Oh, it might have.
There's supposed to be a gasket under there. Yeah. The gas is nice and clean in it. I'm not even scared to try starting it. It smells good. Maybe this is some of that good 90s gas. It didn't go bad so fast. Okay, I believe it's this thicker blue one. It's power to the pump. So we need 12 volts to get in there. We have gasoline on the table a little bit. So have a fire extinguisher handy and don't make a spark, because this will easily ignite. And I need to find where this goes in this plug. And it looks like that one right there. I might need something just a little pointier to get in there. There's a screwdriver here. These are very strong alligator clips. Check here. I heard it make a noise. That pump runs.
Yep.
I think this will work. Interesting. Okay, so I think that pump's good, actually. At least let's try it. But we got to come up with a line from here to the frame. It's kind of a special line, and they cut it on this car. I need to see what I have left of it. Okay, so here's our factory line. As you see, it's cut. A quick repair for this, a lot of people don't know, is to just remove this crimped part, use some fuel injection safe line, and use fuel injection clamps, 2 of them on each end, and you're fine. So trust me, you can either slit this and wrangle it off, or what I'm probably going to do is just take this straight to the grinder and grind it till it doesn't exist, and then this will come apart, and there's a normal barb fitting in there. The reason you kind of do that sometimes is because this is an M14 inverted flare in there, and that's kind of a special fitting, and there's an Earl's fitting that will thread in, but then you start relying on the actual threads to seal, and it's not as safe. So the factory fittings are actually better. I'll show you in a minute. So safety first. If you're working on this stuff, obviously make sure there's no fuel in it when you start grinding on it. But you can basically grind enough of the collar away that our fitting starts coming out. Okay, just a sec, came out of ice. Now I got a little better grip on that. We can kind of just start working this out. You might have to chew on that piece a little bit more, but watch, this will come out. Okay, so there I've got a lot of this thing grinded away, and believe it or not, it's just a fitting underneath there that they used a solid crimp on instead of a clamp. Just to speed up assembly and make more consistent results. So once we get this off of here, there'll just be a barb fitting in there. Might have to cut that one little spot right there still. So let me get a chisel or something. Just cutting away at this so it basically doesn't exist without damaging the bottom part or the inside of the barb any. I mean, you can cut this line off if you want. I used to think this was some incredibly complicated fitting, and it's just not. Okay. I just kind of bend that out of there like that. And yeah, it's coming right along. There you go. Take your wire brush to that thing. You can see it's got barbs on it. Get you a fuel injection clamp to go in on this spot right up against there. And one here too. I like using 2. And I mean, honestly, this is more serviceable than it used to be. So all we gotta do is clean this up as much as we want, and then we'll get the other one off the car and do the same thing, and then just normal fuel injection hose between them. Good clamps, and you'll be fine. There you go. Kind of like we figured, this was hanging on the other end of the car, so this is actually going to be a pretty easy fix. Luckily, Brent was able to break that loose without damaging the car. Okay, so you should see a picture we inserted here, and I still don't have my voice. It's the following day. We had to get some fuel line here. So this is fuel injection safe line, very important. Carbureted lines, good for, 10, 20 pounds, what they're made for. These are made for like 70. And your base fuel pressure is going to be 43 minus your vacuum. So it might not see 70 on an NA car, but you need to sort of plan for that. So this is actually 7/16. You'd think it was 3/8, but we measured the fitting, and it's a little over 300 thousandths, which ends up being about 7/16. And 3/8 would be pretty loose on it. And you want your hose to fit tight on any kind of barb fitting and not have the clamp doing all the work if you're not going to have any troubles. There may be, kind of looking at this from this angle, there might be a crack in that line. I'm not sure yet if they used vice grips or whatever on there, but we'll try to get that running and see if it leaks or anything. And we got some more fuel senders here if we want to switch this out. Or, it's not the best, but if you wanted to fix this, you could cut this and flare the ends and use some clamps and things. The correct fix is you cut this off here, and then you can use what's called a bulkhead fitting, and it'll let you get a 6AN on there or something. I actually like to get a male 6AN fitting and just weld it to this, so there's absolutely no chance of leaking. But they do make like a nylon washer system you can use for bulkhead fittings. I just kind of found it's hard to make them not leak vapor and fumes and things. But anyway, so we got that down there. What we're going to do basically, now that we kind of know the length, is we'll cut this a little long, so we got a little room to work here, but not so much that it's like chafing on everything. But we double clamped it with fuel injection clamps. It's super tight on the barb. I'll show you in a minute when we get this cut to length. So we're gonna lubricate it a little so we can still spin it, but we'll get the barb on there and the clamps, and then screw that onto here tight, and then tighten your clamps, because the fittings from the factory, they don't swivel, and so this doesn't swivel, and the barb doesn't swivel, and so you need some movement inside the line. So this will actually be a little more serviceable than stock, and I mean the stock's a rubber line too. You could argue that the mechanical crimp is more reliable, but I think we're going to be just fine. I've done this a few times, especially on a low power build that's not going to be running a bunch of boost, which is raising the fuel pressure. So we'll be back to you in a second, but so far this is working really good. Okay, so as you'll see, this fitting is very tight. And I was wrong earlier. I said 7/16 fuel line. It's 5/16, smaller than 3/8. So he's going to get those clamps in position, and he's going to try to put that in there, and you're going to see how good this fits. So I think there's zero chance of this ever coming out. I don't even know if you can pull it back out without the clamps. He's really struggling there, ain't he? Heat gun would help a little, but actually it's the barbs, the actual fitting part fits in that tube great. But those barbs will have a real nice grip on there with those clamps. You struggling with that? Yeah.
Can't really grab the hose.
Yeah.
Hold it still.
You can take it off at the bottom if you really have to again, because we just kind of put it there to make sure we had the right length. And you can measure the original hose, obviously, and make it a little longer than that. But a million ways to skin a cat. I don't recommend you do that, though, because I like cats. Don't skin them.
Ironically, the
Yeah,
cat's
did you hear him meowing? Maybe I can boost the audio on that. See, he's got that on there real nice. And you can strongly see the barbs through the hose. So now he's going to try screwing it on the fuel hat, and then just moving the clamps into position and tightening them up. Done. Okay, so he got that fitting started. It was kind of hard because it's so far underneath the hatch area right now until you kind of get it snugged up. And I was just telling him the line at the bottom of the frame does swivel, so you can't actually start this side first. This is just kind of the way we did it. I thought this would be easier to get the length right, but you could always take it loose down at the bottom and tighten it up here, and it'd be a little bit easier probably. Let's cut along. It's about got her. Make sure you use a flare wrench to back up the fitting on the fuel hat so you don't bend that thing any worse than it is, and that is a 14 millimeter. The bigger fitting that we salvaged to make this line is a 19. Yeah, looks like our battery boiled plenty last night. It's doing good. Poking that in shortly. Right now, as indicated previously, it's a struggle to get these clamps. And he's making some minor tweaks, but we're going to get to them. No problem. Oh. So we got that done. And the wiring on this car is not great. I don't know what all those wires look like there, but there's wires kind of spliced into the factory stuff in the back that also look like those colors. So I'm going to guess we're not going to have power to the fuel pump, but we're going to find out. So we got a strong battery. We're going to put this on here. First of all, should sparkle a little bit. Okay. That's your solenoids and your transmission and your VIX going. Don't worry about that. So that's actually a pretty good sign. Go cycle the key on, Brent. Let me see if I can hear a fuel pump. It's either not running or I just can't hear it. Try to cycle it again. Can you close the door so that beeping's not going on? Sure. Okay. No, I really don't think I heard it. I don't think we're gonna have any fuel here, but as you see, somebody's been playing. I don't know why. Never use Walmart fittings. I guess he couldn't get his thing out. I don't know. This is horrible. I'm a little disgusted by it, honestly. But we'll be back once we figure this out. Might as well see if the motor rotates, so make sure it's in park. Hit the key. Not good. Try that one more time. I think we might put the jump box on that for a second. Or maybe my wires are loose here. Let's try that. A little tighter ground here. It's pretty poor condition, of course, like most of the wiring in this car. Alright, try again. Nothing? Okay. Well, hold on a sec. Okay, let's see what we got for voltage at our, what the thing says is charged. 12.2. That's not really good, actually. 12.6 is like fully charged on a lead acid battery, but that should be enough to do a little more work than we're hearing out of the starter. This is pretty poor here. We're gonna have to rework some of this at some point, but okay, so we'll put the jump box on it, but I don't think that's the problem. Okay, we got it on engine crank. Got that hooked up here, and he's gonna try crank on her some more. Doesn't even try now, huh? You sure it's in park? Yep. Try going to neutral. The transmission solenoid's going. Okay, we might have to put a jumper down to the starter. Not sure yet. Some nice test connectors down here. So while we were working, I wanted to see if that fuel pump's going to run. Let's see here. It's this black one down here. Kind of hard to see. But You can get it down there. There's like this cap on them if they haven't been disturbed. A lot of them have been lost over the years, but there's supposed to be like this plug here. Trying to get it out. Okay, so that's out. Just this little cap. You can see this plug here. So if you supply 12 volts directly to that, it will run the fuel pump if the wiring at the fuel pump's any good, without worrying about whether the ECU's turning it on or a variety of other things can stop the fuel pump from working. So let's listen. Yep. Hear that? So fuel pump's fine. So we can actually run the car this way once we get it rolling over. But you can hear all the fuel flowing through the injector rails and everything. So let's go back here and look for leaks. So Brent wants you to try crawling down there. I gave you the phone if you want. Check the leaks.
Right. I don't see any fuel coming out this way.
You show them the connector you worked on down there?
Yeah.
Yep, there you go.
Kind of see it there.
And I would flip those. Ideally, you'd probably reverse those hose clamps. One is clamped the other direction, but it'll be okay. But you can see.
It'll focus. There we go.
Yeah, right there where that's at. And up here, let's go look up here. And anytime you work on your fuel system, it's a good thing to do before you start the car. Power the pump, but so this is still getting power, but whatever conglomeration's going on here, I might not be happy with. Mainly before we put the car back on the ground and go look at the starter, wanted to make sure that we can put this wheel back on and make sure none of this is liquidy. I think we put some water on this to slide it together, is why that might look damp right there, but don't see any leaks. Don't see any leaks where this was crimped. So that should be good. Well, it's our first time under here. Some notable things already. Everything leaks. I mean, that's fine. At least it's got fluid in it at some point. Don't like the gigantic smashed in oil pan. Don't wish people quit doing that. That'd be nice. It's got a relatively new Wix filter on it, which is very interesting. We did not change that, so that's good, probably. So, and it's also got what I would call a new downpipe. So, almost looks like a muffler shop made that, but then it almost looks completely stock, so I don't know. But got new exhaust gaskets, so got a dent in the exhaust there a little bit where they jacked it up, I guess, but not too bad. And then somebody didn't realize how easy it is to unplug the O2 sensor, so they just mangled the wire up. That's pretty typical. And pretty well all the plastics is... Oh, dang it, I let the cat out. There's Shadid right there. Brett, can you get that cat? Stick him in the office.
Yep, sure will.
Before he gets somewhere else.
Come here, buddy. Come here.
He's an indoor cat now.
Oh,
Yep.
sorry, buddy.
That's okay. So I know that felt kind of weird from your perspective, probably. Flip it over like that, but yeah. So we're under here. Before we get to boosting the starter up too much, I wanted to make sure that somehow it didn't go out of time already. And we're going to roll the motor over by hand, see if that feels okay, and check the timing again. And if that's good, then we might get to whomping on the starter a little bit. That's probably the original. And or that smaller wire there, if you have like a remote cranking trigger thing, which I do, you can take this solenoid wire off and jumper that to the fatter wire, or just go straight to the battery, whatever you want. And we can see if it's not got the click start defect some of these cars get, where they need an extra relay for the starter. So but yeah, we'll just get back to you in a second. Sorry, I'm quite sick. Just checking here again. The cans are in a reasonable place, so we'll see. We'll check the timing for sure, but so far I'm hopeful it ain't out of time. So he's gonna get underneath there. Our floor is kind of wet today. The weather's been very strange in lots of parts of the country, but here it's been, I mean, it's like 55 and beautiful, but I don't think the earth's quite caught up because we're getting a lot of condensation on the floor. It's kind of making it slippery. So we got these moving blankets here just to walk on. Grab a creep or two if we were going to do a lot. But he's going to try to turn the motor over. And this will tell us if it still turns over pretty good, then it's probably something with the starter or the wiring. So you can't see what he's doing, but he's just getting on the crank pulley again. You'll be able to see the timing belt move in a second here, hopefully. Yeah, there it goes. Feel okay? Yep. Well, that's good news. So I was worried when we actually got to cranking on it, decided to skip time because the belt really isn't super tight. It will get replaced, don't get me wrong. But I didn't want to put a timing job on a motor that might be completely bad, so we kind of wanted to hear it first. So you kind of pick your poison. Okay, stop. We're a tooth too far. Can you back it up a little? Oh, there it is. So, yeah, that's good. Check the backs. The backs are in a good spot, too. Sorry, my camera work is these engine bays are pretty dang difficult to figure out how to get a camera in. There's that. Can you see the mark on the crank now that you got more access? I guess we really need to take that plastic panel off.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see that in there.
So you want to just take that panel off, Brent?
Yeah.
It's just there's a bolt here, the 12, and there's one here, and there's one in the front. So you got to take these Phillips out to get the inner liner out a little bit.
Alrighty.
Let me get you some tools. Yeah, like a lot of these are pretty stripped out. So Brent grabbed the trim tool to get behind it and apply some pressure. And a lot of times you can get them out then. You know, it may not be in your best interest to cut these off all the time, but if you get desperate, you can use some wire cutters, get behind them, like cut them. But if he can save them, you know, more power to him. And you can buy these. You can buy like huge boxes of these fittings, but nothing quite fits like the factory ones do. And you can still get those too from Mitsubishi, but you just gotta plan ahead. So yeah, once he gets that out of here, normally there's a bunch of stuff holding this on, but there's so much missing from this. He probably just needs to take this 10 out here. And let me get you a 10.
Yeah.
He's just getting these bolts out of here. Take this panel completely out. Okay. There's not a whole lot left on this, so it might come out, but there's a screw here too, I think. I don't know what there is on this car. What are we stuck on? Give me that light.
Yep.
Can't see nothing. Yeah, there's a little Phillips I got there. Pretty rough. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. That's about it. Get that panel out. Now we can get the engine cover out. A couple of bolts for that. That should be 12 millimeter if they haven't been messed with. Looks like the cobs was getting in here. Yep. Got that panel out. Maybe we can see this crank pulley better. It's pretty rough. The car sat for a long time. Do you see a mark up at the top?
Oh. Not sure exactly what we're looking for here.
Be a little bitty slit. Might have rusted away.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it.
Okay, I think we better just take this crank pulley off and see where the timing cog is. We're just going to get to the source of things and remove the crank pulley. Normally you take your belts off first, but don't really care. They're terrible anyway. Yep. And that should just yank off. Big impact really helps a job like this. Yeah, it's going to be stuck on there a little bit. I would not beat on it with a metal hammer. He's going to use his trim tool for a pry bar. Sounds like something I'd do. Hit it with the palm of your hand towards the motor on the bottom. Yeah, there it comes loose. The belts are probably holding on a little bit. Like I said, that's normally the order, is you take the belts off first. Still stuck?
Yeah.
The belt's gonna be too tight.
Maybe.
If you pop that pulley off, it'll loosen that belt. You might need a 14 for that, don't you?
Yeah, what do I got down here?
I think you got a 12.
12 and 10. Let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think it's
I'll get you a 14 here. Still stuck really good?
Yeah.
I'm gonna mallet, tickle her a little.
Yeah, maybe.
Like a soft thing. Give her a good whomp at the bottom. There, it's starting to move. I seen it. Yeah. I think this pulley needs to be replaced anyways. When the timing marks have rusted away from it, it's not great. Whomp it back on there a second. And try to keep pulling. It might be trying to pull the timing cog with it too on the back. It gets stuck on there sometimes. Just keep working her back and forth. Could be that power steering belt too. You might not be able to get it off, honestly. The whole motor's moving like you don't have any motor mounts. That's good. Oh, you just knocked the paint off that pulley, Brent.
Sure did. Look at that.
Jeebus. It's no good no more. Okay, let's take the dang power steering thing loose. So you got this tensioner assembly here. Those two bolts right there. Loosen both of those and you can detension the power steering pulley. So it's this one and that one. See them?
No, I don't know where you're looking.
Want to come up here and look? It's these two. One of them's longer than the other.
Oh, I can't see anything from down here.
Yes, you can. You just don't know where you're looking. We'll come up here and do it then. It's fine.
You got like a pry bar or something?
Sure. I can cut that belt with pliers.
I mean,
Sure, it's no good.
I wondered if I could just kind of pry against the outside the oil pan and get it on the frame and kind of wiggle it.
Okay.
Along the pry bar.
Just going to go ahead and take this power steering belt off. It'll help. It needs replaced anyway. You don't got to take it all the way out. So just loosen the top pivot one now.
My wrench long enough to get in there.
These are really tight sometimes. I'll just let you know.
Okay, I don't know about that.
I've tied two wrenches together sometimes.
Yeah, I might have to do that.
Okay. Got a cheater wrench on there now. He'll get it. I was going to break jaws off cheater wrench. You're not on it very much. Can you push on it just a little more? I'm scared you're going to strip it out here. Oh, I guess that's as far as you can go. Okay, I was wrong. That's the way that ratchet wrench is made. Told you it was tight.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Riveting. Isn't this riveting? But this is realistic.
What the fuck?
Wow. There you go. There, he's breaking her loose. I seen it move. Maybe. There we're going. There's some more. Okay. Once you got that loose, this will come out. You actually can put a Either a serpentine tool or a 1/2 inch ratchet will fit in that square hole there if you want to tension this later. Yeah, I'll just do that. There we go. Okay, let's see if that helped. Get that pulley will come off now. Keep wiggling it. It's just stuck to the timing pulley.
Yeah. Might need a longer pry bar.
Okay.
Just pry that back.
They're not a press, in case anybody's wondering. Okay. Can we see the mark in there? Let me take a look at this pulley. Yeah. So, Brent, this is the mark on the back of the pulley. See this little slot here?
Oh, right there.
Yeah. But there's also a mark on the cam cog. You shine some light in there. See, that cam cog was trying to come off the cranks. Tap that back on.
Yep. There's myself, man. What?
Yeah, there we go. Can you see the mark in there? I can't really see it from up here.
So is it just this nipple here, or is there another mark?
I mean, that roll pin is like one tooth off from where it should be. There's another mark inside there. There's like a 3-pronged big trigger wheel that goes around the whole thing. And then there's a little bitty moon-shaped cutout in that trigger wheel.
Oh, I sure don't know what you're looking at.
Okay.
Oh. You want to come down and try to take a peek?
Yep.
All right.
It's lined up. So you probably can't see it. Maybe you can. I'll look in the edit later, but there's a little bitty cutout on that trigger wheel in the back that goes to a low pointing thing on the oil pump, and it is in fact in the correct place, so this engine is in time. So if it's locking up, it's something in the bearings or the starter. Okay, let's zip that pulley back on.
All right.
I wouldn't remind any of the belts or anything, because they're all getting replaced, and we're going to have to put a new pulley on. That's just a piece of junk.
Yeah.
But don't ever start these cars without that pulley on, because the timing belt could try to escape, which is very bad. So he's just going to slip that pulley back on, and we'll zip it on for now just to make sure the time belt isn't trying to come off. But all the cams are lined up and the crank's lined up and belt's tight enough. I'm not completely terrified to start it. So probably something in the starter or the wiring. Make sure you line that hole in the pulley up with the roll pin on the crank cog, see? You'll kind of feel it once you get it on there. Watch your belts behind it.
Yeah.
Move that belt off. Don't just take it off, yeah. Get you a better shot here, perhaps. Just seating that back on. When they're new, they pretty much just slip on, but this is not new anymore. But make sure that that roll pin is in the center of that hole there. Do you see it? Yep. See that hole right here?
Try and get your light in there.
Yep. Yep. If you miss that, you'll mash it, and it really screws stuff up. Pretty rusty, but he's getting it. That sounds pretty positive. Okay. Zip that bolt on. I'm a little foggy today with all the cold medicine, but I think he torqued us to 136. So he's going to whomp on it good with that impact. But when we put a pulley on it, we'll torque it for real.
Get on there.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yep. It's probably good enough for that. But again, torque these in real life, okay? Okay, so I'm just taking off this starter wiring. We're starting to suspect the starter. We jumpered power directly to it, and it just barely even sparks. So I think the solenoid's hung up in there and it's not engaging the main motor with the solenoid's relay. So we're just going to take the starter out. It's not very hard on these cars. It should go past this downpipe, but you might run into one where you got like a California Cat or something and they don't. But I think we're going to luck out today and basically unplug the trigger wire, which is dangling to the left there of my ratchet, and take this nut off the main power lug, which this has been replaced at some point, it looks like, along with a lot of... I don't know why they had so much wiring trouble with these things. It's really not known for that. I know people that don't know them very well might say they are, but they're not. Mitsubishi, one of the biggest electric companies in the world, they know how to make a starter. If I can get this to go, that'd be nice. This is realism right here. 14 minutes to take one nut off the wire here. And this is almost certainly the wrong nut or something because it feels bad coming off. But that's not surprising. The car actually had a block heater you can see up there in the freeze plug. So I don't know why. We bought it from Arkansas, but I didn't really look to see where it lived before that. I'll get this off eventually. Okay. Take our wire off. Put your nuts back, people. You can't lose it if it's still there. So that's that. And now we just gotta take that bolt. And then there's one a little bit up there. They're 14s. I'll be back. I'm not gonna try to hold this. So this doesn't sound real good. Yeah, that doesn't sound great, and we still don't know if the solenoid's doing anything. Hey, she's getting a little better. Maybe she just needs woke up. Nope, see, it's not going in. Just get stuck. This starter's bad, man. Okay. So I didn't expect this, but after fixing the fuel pump, and I literally had just put a new starter in it because we thought the starter was slow, and I mean, it cranked over like 3 times and started. I would have had a video of that, but I didn't even expect it to start. So there you go. Sounds freaking wonderful, actually. Idle's a little high, but okay. So this has got 2050 in it, and it's cold. So I'd expect the oil pressure to be pretty high, but that's really good. Alternator's not charging, so we don't have the belt hooked up. Let's see if the transmission does anything. Yep. Yep. Oh, I think we got all our gears. Yep. A little vibration because I don't have a wheel on it. Wow, that's exciting. We'll get back to you with some road testing soon, I believe. Let's see if the windows work. Yep, slow like normal. Pretty slow, but they go down and up. Holy moly. I think we got a runner. Doesn't even tick. Well, we got a high idle, so we got a little work to figure that out, but it's coming up to temperature and the oil pressure's still awesome. Let's see how it restarts. Okay. I mean, I've test drove cars on the lot that didn't start any better or worse than that. Wow. Oh, I don't know why, but now it's idling normally. No, it probably needs to adapt a little bit, but that's a little weird. And that's still really good oil pressure. Huh. If that stays above 3 ticks, I'd be really impressed. This car's got a ton of miles. I think it sat a long time, many years. I need to check and look and see if we can find the last inspection date, but I thought this car had sat for like 10 years. Wow. Well, stay tuned to some road testing. We'll do in 2026. First time this car's moving on its own in years. See if she'll get out of the garage at least. Alright, I don't have any power steering. That's fine. Because it don't have any belts. Oh, it's doing things. Sure, why not? Yeah, okay. Yep. Huh. Yeah, it's fine. Smokes a little. Smoking a little bit, but okay. There's our other fantastic machine. It's a good one. Okay, good first drive. Yeah, that's sad about 3 weeks since we first revived it, and other than that little bit of lift tick, fired right up even on a half-dead battery. Eli is going to try to drive this mechanism for a couple of days, however long that turns into. So we got a little work to do today, putting some tires on it that weren't made during the Clinton administration, and we'll get back to you with some driving, hopefully. Well, this is going to be the first time we get this car in the lift, so let's see if that makes us happy or sad when we see the bottom of it.
You ready?
Yep.
Alright.
Well, you're going to see it as we do, people.
Well, that moved a whole lot from one side.
Huh. Picked up some various wheels from various Eli automobiles. So we have at least 3.5. It's better than the 1 out of 4 we got on right now. Checking for stability. Stock suspension sure got some droop. Oh, by the way, it is Saturday, so we are not slacking off from customer cars. You'll see in another video, Eli's had a little bit of engine trouble with his car, and so we have this car we've been reviving, and he's going to continue to revive it by driving it for a week or two until we get his other car fixed. Gone up.
We got 10 cars.
Oh, okay. I was just going to show our fans here. Don't worry about that. But the bottom side of this machine, which so far is pretty decent. The oil pan is... See, that's when they're like really dented. You may need to immediately address that. But as far as like rust holes and stuff, I'm not seeing anything yet. Yep, so we got the wheel off. We checked the date code on that tire. Poor thing, never got a chance to get burned up on anybody's car. But that is, from my vision, saying the 26th week of 2001. It's a little bit old. But on the plus side, I don't see any signs of the struts leaking, and the paint's really good on that strut. So I wonder if that's been replaced.
Still got a fresh polish in there too.
Yeah. And this must be a non-ABS car because it doesn't have the electrical sensor attached to the strut. And I don't see that they just cut it off or anything. And yeah, there's no pump. So that's fine. ABS doesn't work very good on these anyway. But yeah, the brakes are... there's a pedal in the car, but yeah. We're gonna have to see if these clean up from use a little bit. They're pretty wore out. Okay. The power steering does work.
Well, I told you it didn't have a belt.
Yeah.
Just keep her straight.
Good, thanks. The seat's so blown out, I feel like I'm sitting in a hole and I'm like 4 foot tall. Must be on test fit.
Close to it.
All right, the maiden voyage. Try to get some of the dash in there for our viewers, Eli.
Oh, we can put my seatbelt on.
Yeah, you might want that. Hey, do we get a quarter out of this deal too?
I think so.
What year is that? Oh, it doesn't say 1983. Oh, 82. I was born in 83.
Oh.
So that's some pretty good luck. Are you gonna open the moonroof? Don't fuck up. Yeah, don't F up. The ceiling's actually pretty good in this one. Although I don't know why there's. Maybe they had that sun cover that's in these and they taped it. Yeah, it'll come open.
Oh, I didn't know which way to spin it.
Yeah, well, that's tight though. Be careful with it. It's just stuck on all the
Seals.
Might need grease too. It's really tightened up.
Okay.
Okay.
Surprised that worked.
Here's your wrench.
Oh, sweet.
Maybe we should go to the car wash.
I think that's not a bad idea.
Yeah. It
Hopefully.
actually doesn't stink in here.
Not
Oh, this
yet.
thing rides great. Our parking lot is like a porcupine. Oh yeah. You know, maybe I should go left and turn back into the parking lot first. No? There's second. Oh, there's second again. Okay. Yeah, okay. Brakes do work. Okay, well we put 20 feet on it. Neighbors must think we're a little kooky, but they probably see that car and they're like, nah, I understand. Wow, it's actually, I hate the ride height of these cars when they're stock, but they ride so good. It's really a shame that most lowering methods decrease the ride. Yeah, that window's really slow. I wouldn't work it too many times.
I'm just trying to avoid the smells.
Smells? Yeah, the engine smells a little rough, doesn't it?
A little bit.
I think it's got gas in it from 1992.
Yeah.
I think we'll just give them some space.
Blinker's about to go out, so you can got it.
Yeah, I think one of the blinkers is out. Let's make it do that.
Does the other side do it? Yeah, they're both about shot.
Okay.
What was that? Is that an old Bronco, or I can't see any of my glasses?
That's a Chevy 66 or 67 or 68. I think. You can smell it. It smells worse than us.
You're going to have to cut out the part of me by saying it's in a Bronco.
I don't dare pull out. We don't even know if the gears work.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, we got the other lane.
Shoulder. Well, we'll just take our time, okay? It's heating up anyway. We're going to have heat pretty soon. She's heating up. She's got kick butt oil pressure for idle. That's really, really, really good. I'm sure I'll go down when it gets hot, but. And we checked the alternators charging. They always do that. That's the turn signal circuits tied into the dash. They kind of do that.
Oh, so my car is not crazy.
No, everybody asks that, but it's just the way they are.
Okay.
Which, yeah, you'd think that would have never got out of engineering, but here we are. Because they did that when they were like new. Oh, look at that. Whoa! What is that thing?
It's got a giant A-arm.
Yeah.
They're building the bulldozer, or what are they, dump truck over there?
I don't know. I think we'll have a huge gap after this final car. Now, there's your Bronco.
Oh.
Man, this thing just idles like never turns it off. Okay. Got good torque. Oh, second. Third's soft, but it did it. Oh, the alignment's wicked bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna fight it. Put a lot of pressure and pulls to the right. Regulator. But check it out, we're doing 60. We're doing 60 in this thing. Why am I going so fast the first trip?
back corner has a bad ball joint and a bad tie rod, so definitely not going to be setting speed records in this thing. But just wanted to see if it'll get Eli home a few times. It's smooth. Don't feel any vibration. Overdrive's lazy, but works. We need to check transmission fluid when we get back. They got to get hot. You check it in neutral. It's probably low. And if these get low on transmission fluid, they start to slip pretty easy. Even if it's like a quart low, they don't like it. But not slipping so far. Give her her first bath, possibly a decade, and we'll fill the tank up. Got about a half a tank on. It's actually running just fine on the gas that was in it. But some people tell me that gas from 10 years ago lasted longer, and I think it's true. Because your modern gas, I mean, it starts to go bad almost immediately. A few months and it's losing some of its potency. Brakes are pretty vibraty, but they were really rusty. So we'll see if they come out of it.
It does actually ride really smooth.
Super good. I think this got new struts on it. Wish they would have put the ball joints in them, but I think there was a box of ball joints in the back of this car, wasn't there?
Yes, there was.
Yeah, so they knew. They knew. Well, we're not putting those on today. That's kind of a process, but you hear the brakes just hitting the rusty part over and over, you know. Oh, shoot. The dang car wash closed. Too cold?
Probably.
Yeah, it's probably freezing this morning. Okay, well, we're not giving her her first bath.
We have a pressure washer at the shop.
Yeah, that's gonna be. Water's probably froze. We shall put some gas in it. So watch out here. Oh, that truck was coming. Sounds good.
This does sound really good for a stock car.
Yeah. Oh, they're on the passenger side, aren't they? Gotta remember that after all those years.
Does it not have the arrow on the thing? Oh, no, you're right. Yeah. Duh. I know that.
Okay, well, we'll fill her up. See how much gas she needs. We'll even put 91 or something in it. That's what they're supposed to have. Filling her up. And as soon as I figure out how to operate this computer on this thing, we'll see if I did in fact park too far away.
He definitely did.
Oh, I think we're going to be up there.
Just barely.
See if this car's got a hole in the fill. That's pretty common on them, but I don't think this one does. It's not very rusty. That engine's just going to smile.
Sure hope so.
Well, first new tank of gas, took 10 gallons. Let's see if it fires up again or we're walking.
Like a dream.
Brand new car wouldn't start any better. Shifter needs a little everything, but we'll figure it out.
Mine was worse.
Throttle's like super touchy.
That's good though.
I mean, like more than normal. Hear that popping now as the ball's right in front. Hear it.
You remember my auto shifter? That thing moved like a freaking manual.
I knew what gear it was in. 263 indicated miles on 1,000 indicated miles on, and it will be rolling over at 264 very soon. Heater works great.
It does actually. That's very nice.
I don't know. I know this isn't a long trip, but there's not a lot talked about when they work. Just praying for that, you know. I wonder if the headlights work. That seems to. Dash lights come on.
No light. No lights. Oh, you got the front lights, and this light is on like a daytime runner. This one ain't got nothing, so this bulb's probably bad.
Check it back.
Yeah, sure.
Got brake lights.
This blinker works. This one works. Yeah, brake lights work too.
So we're just missing the left front turn signal.
Yeah, and this one's blinking fast back here.
Well, we'll do that if the
Oh, yeah.
circuit's going on.
Sweet.
Yeah. I think this is bird poop. Well, another maiden trip here. We put almost 4 gallons of Trent, or 4 quarts. 4 quarts of ATF in it. Just made the transmission tighten up a little. Sorry, the sun's in our eyes here pretty bad. It's very warm. The heater works excellent. But you can't always count on it. Shifting any better?
I mean, I didn't feel the shift at all, so.
Along, we'll head back to the shop. Well, I was not lying. He's driving her home. Let's see him go. See if we can figure it out. He has driven these before. Probably not one that's sat 15 years. Just put a new turn signal lens in it and a new turn signal, but other than that, all the lights worked. We do have insurance on it, in case anybody's wondering. I had a drink here. Let's do it! I will warn you guys, she smokes pretty good. We'll see if that comes around, but we're definitely going to put a timing belt on it, and valve stem seals, brakes, valve cover gaskets, just kind of all the typical things that a car would need after sitting so long. But she's smoking pretty good, and you can tell by the evidence on the bumper. It's not just started yesterday either. So it's going though. To smoke right off of idle, so I'm hopeful that it's just valve stem seals, which, while labor intensive to some degree, not nearly as bad if the rings are gone or something. but it sounds so good and runs so good. I'd be surprised if the rings are wiped out. And again, it'll loosen up a little bit once we get going. Looks like his turn signal's working, and I saw he turned the lights on. Let's give him some space. We're going to take some roads that aren't quite as fast just to see what this car's doing. It's literally got, I think it's 3 miles from the shop to the little town of Advance next to us, so it's probably got 12 miles on it so far. Well, he's not stopping, so that's always a good sign. I told him just call me if something horrible's happening. Giving her a little gas, seems like. In my C6 today, so on its best day I don't think he could outrun me, but it still seems to be moving pretty good. See if I can rest my elbow here. Still have you guys see this. He's moving along just fine. 60. Yeah, see, it's not like smoking continuously. And it does have very thick oil in it right now. We have Valvoline VR1 2050 in it, which I run in all my fast stuff. And it's just kind of what we had laying around. But I also knew if, a little thicker oil would help some of the looser tolerances that may exist in this engine. And it's got a lot of zinc in it. So VR1 has something like 1,200 parts per million of zinc, and I don't know what the other big one is, potassium, something like that. Anti-wear, it's like when your oil film breaks down and you have metal on metal contact, the zinc is like a sacrificial metal and keeps your stuff from getting torn up as badly. So we run that in the shop car, and I've always run either VR1 or Redline engine oils. I usually run like a 1550 when I run that. And again on the VR1, it's 2050. Fortunately, they didn't make a... Sorry, I'm trying to focus here. They didn't make a 1040 VR1. I wish they would. And I guess you can mix some of the 1030 in there with your 2050 if you want to lighten it up a little bit, but I wish they just made a 1040 because for like a car, old worn out car like the one in front of us, but one that's not making any power, that would be appropriate, is to run like a 1040 in it. Yeah, it's a good looking car from this distance. Wish we could have gave it a bath today, but there's always time for that. Next week, depending on if I can steal some time away from some things, we'll put tie rods on it and ball joints. Particularly the passenger side's got a lot of play. Driver's side's pretty tight, but boots are all torn, and I always like to replace tie rods and ball joints and sets like that. So you're kind of off to a good start, and you got everything equaled out. And probably if one wore out, then the other one's not super far behind. So, especially if you're gonna pay to get an alignment, you may as well get your money's worth out of your alignment and replace both your tie rods. Because it's just about impossible to put a tie rod back, a new tie rod, and not have it affect your toe a little bit. Even if you count the threads and all that, there's just some variances and things. So, Eli's brother works at Legends Wheel and Tire here in the area, and they have a good alignment rack, so I think we'll get this car aligned once we do those repairs to the front end. And so Eli took his good tires off his car that's got engine blowed up in it right now, and I don't want to wear them out with a bad alignment. I have found through experience that if your toe is really bad, you can actually wear your tires out in like 300 miles. And I had a brand new set one time. I did my transmission and threw off my alignment, and after I got it aligned, it still would not drive straight. And so I had to get brand new tires again that I just had 300 miles on, and even back then it was like $500. So good advice is, don't drive your car very long if you know it's got a bad alignment, because it's going to tear your tires up in a way that you might not even see it. Like sometimes it moves the belts or something inside of them, I guess. I'm not sure the exact science behind that, but it really did. And they put 2 brand new tires on it and it drove perfect. So it was actually the tires. I actually got a tire on my Corvette that's brand new, and the car drifts to the left a little bit too, and that's I got it aligned just perfectly, and it still does that. So maybe I just got bad luck with tires. I mean, it's not like, as you can see, it's like it's throwing the car in the ditch or anything, but it does drift to the left a little bit. So if he gets where he's going, I am gonna go by him and go get some dinner. Definitely, if you got a buddy and you're driving a car that's sat this long, have him follow you home. Okay? At least I would. Unless you got your walking shoes on, it's pretty smart. Come up to a stop sign. Hopefully these brakes do brake things. They really feel bad, but they just got decades of rust on them. I mean, we had to replace the turn signal socket because the lens was cracked and had let so much water in. All the contacts were completely green, and yeah, they're smoking off idle. We could not get the light to work reliably, so luckily we just put a standard extra one I had and we were good. But I was fighting us a little bit, but other than that, all the lights worked pretty good. Don't see too many Mitsubishi revivals, or I know it's a Dodge Stealth, but it's a 3000 GT, really. Just styling different. But you don't see too many revivals like this, I bet. Oh, looks like I'm out of gas. Okay. That'd be something. Follow your friend as backup to his travels, and then you run out of gas, and he's got to take the back car to get you gas. No, it should still go 40-50 miles pretty easy. I haven't really run it that completely out yet. Although I think these C6s got some kind of saddle tank arrangement that you probably don't want to destroy the fuel pump running it low on fuel all the time. I think you got to drop probably this transmission and subframe in the back. Get the tanks out, I don't know. Maybe not. Tell me in the comments, what's it like changing the fuel pump on a C6, because I'm sure either for wear or upgrades I am going to need to put a fuel pump in this thing eventually. Probably start with a booster pump or something like that Ken Bell makes, because I do want to put a basic bolt-on and a Corvette centrifugal supercharger kit on this car eventually. It's just the Stealth's 3000 GT is keeping pretty busy. Looks like he's doing something. Turn signal still works. That's good. Looks like we got traffic. Okay. It's definitely smoking less. I don't know if the valve stem seals will really come back around that much, because based on the bumper, it was either running really rich or smoking a lot of oil that burned it black like that. And so I don't think that's a recent thing. One thing that sucks about the valve stem seals on these is you have to, well, you basically, there's tales out there of a fella named Clint Batters that could change his valve stem seals without pulling the cams, but I sure don't know how. So we'll have to pull the cams, which we'll put a timing belt on it, so that's all something to do at once. And then we'll put cam seals and cam end case seals while we're doing the valve covers. Pretty much everything leaks on this engine that I can see, so it just needs it. And it's better to change all that stuff while you got it apart and not have to do your timing twice. But timing belt looks like it's been changed. Saw some marks on some things that indicated that, but it does got some dry checking in it, and so I really don't want to put a ton of miles on this timing belt. Oh, looks like he's testing out the handling. Wow, damn, the way that ball joint is, I don't think I would do that, but here we are. He's a young guy, you know. I've gotten more cautious over the years. Looks good so far. Sure stinks. Yeah, that car actually, if you watch earlier in the video, we didn't even put gas in it. It just started. So we just put 10 gallon in it to fill it up earlier, so it had 10 gallon in it that was apparently still good enough to run. I don't have a lot of experience reviving vehicles, but one theory I kind of have on that is that fuel injected stuff is a little bit easier on old gas, just because you don't have as many ways for air and moisture and things to get into it. It's more of a sealed system, whereas with a carburetor, you got your fuel floats and everything. There we go. It's pretty much just open to the air through your air filter, and so all that dries up in the carburetor and makes a big mess. But that also, the tanks are usually just vented, they're through the gas cap or something like that. And whereas on a fuel injected vehicle, you have a like a carbon filter, the evaporative canister up by the front bumper, by the radiator and stuff. So it's my opinion that gas will last a little bit longer in a fuel injected car, but also fuel injectors are very sensitive to clogging too, but that would have to get through the filter. So maybe either that or we're just lucky, I don't know. But both the cars we tried to revive, the injectors were fine. The red car you saw on our channel, it had a very rusty gas tank, so we could not run anything off of that. But this one, it looked great inside, so we chanced it and it fired right up. So A, why waste the gas, and B, it just take a lot of effort to drain it out and clean all the lines and everything, and looks like this is gonna be fine. Pretty country out here. Good thing to go for a drive. Guess I should have got fuel for my Corvette while I was there. If we don't have to siphon out of this white car, put it back in here. They was having fun there. Oh, truck went the other way. Cool. Seemed a little impatient with us. Was hoping we weren't in his way. My biscuits are burning. I'm gonna have to turn off the seat heater. Good lord. C6 has got a good seat heater. I'll tell you that much. A little chilly today, but I would say pretty much in season, or maybe a little warmer than normal still. At my earliest convenience. She's been blinking low fuel pretty aggressively. She's not happy about it. Well, I'll tell you a little bit about my car, I guess, my Corvette at least. Picked this up a couple years ago just to have something super reliable and bone stock to take to Rocky Mountain Race Week 2.0. And so we picked this up and ran just a whole stack of mid-12s, pretty much like they're supposed to, and had a great time and perfectly functioning AC and stuff down in Louisiana and Texas, which was great. Oh no, didn't know he was going on a gravel road. Don't like taking my Corvette or anything nice down these. But yeah, I really haven't done anything to it. Just drive it when it's nice out. Welcome break from driving my pickup, but obviously I pick up engines and transmissions and such in my pickup, so a lot of times I can't drive the Corvette, which is fine. Oh boy, this is really rough, but I don't want to make it super fast, but a little bit quicker would be nice. I'd like to get in the 11s. Probably with cam and headers and a little more work, I could probably do that. Stock torque converter is pretty tight, so I don't know for certain that it would do that, but it probably would. So I My 60 foots weren't great anyway before. They were, oh, what did we do? Probably a 1.8, 1.9s. It's kind of a lazy out of the hole, so I don't know if it's just my particular unit needs a tune-up or what, but I mean, you can do it, get it to a burnout all day and that sort of thing, but it just feels like for the first 20 feet, if you get it to hook up good, it's kind of a dog. Because after that, I mean, it runs like a 12.5 and 12.6, and I think we did 117 or 118. So, I mean, it makes plenty of top end for what it is, and just doesn't seem to want to get out of the hole. Let's get a little bit better 60 foot. I think we could get closer to that lower 12s. Eli's calling. Well, he's still going. Was just telling me some adventures he's had out here. And he's about an 1/8 mile from home, and he tells me there's a gas station right up here, so we're going to let him go for the day, and I'd consider that a, you know, very good success. He just lives over there somewhere, and this car that sat, I really can't determine for sure, but 10 years plus, just needed a little bit of love, and it's getting back on the road, going down the road. We'll see you again. Revenge Performance is the place to get the parts and the advice to help right the wrongs on your vehicle. We partner with the industry leaders in parts distribution and warehousing to get you the best possible prices, the widest selection of parts, and the fastest shipping. With our real-time inventory on our website, if we say we have it in stock, it's ready to ship. From us or from our many national distribution partners. With hundreds of thousands of parts available, I guarantee we can get revenge on your ride.